Hello, welcome back to Red Ted Art TV. So this is a long video where you take your time and you relax and you see all the details all in one go. And today's theme is your top 10 animal bookmarks. Now, just to make this kind of easier for you, I've done two videos. I've got a speedy version of the top 10 and I've got this slow Red Ted Art TV version. So basically you choose which one you want to watch and how much detail you want to see in one go. So remember, there's two videos. Today's really long Red Ted Art TV and the quick one. Now, as mentioned, this is the top 10 animal bookmarks as voted by you by views, comments and likes. And I'd be really keen to hear in the comments down below whether you agree with the top 10. Have you made these 10 animal bookmarks? Which one's missing? Which one do you think should be in there and wasn't? Which animal bookmark haven't I made yet that you'd really love to see? So, just leave me a comment down below and let's see what we can do going forward. Anyway, let's see which are the top 10 animal bookmark crafts here in Red Ted Art. Come on then. So this is just a quick craft basic to show you how to make a basic corner bookmark, which we use in all our other corner bookmark videos. So what you will need is a square piece of paper. This is 15 by 15 centimeters, but it really doesn't matter. You first twist it to make a diamond, bring the bottom corner up to the top, and make a neat fold at the bottom. Now you bring the pointy corner up to this one. And repeat. Always make nice, neat creases because that will help you later on. Open, bring one flap down. Then bring this flap over and tuck it under. And repeat. There we go. Your basic corner bookmark is finished. You can now decorate it and turn it into all sorts of other corner bookmarks that we've shared here in Red Ted Art. Now I'm going to just round off the top, kind of just to give it a bit of shape. Now I also want to cut out two ears. Hold it over. First time I made this polar bear, I cut out really big ears and my polar bear looked like a mouse. You don't want a mouse, you want a polar bear. So, two ears. Now I'm going to add my little blue tea tails just for a bit of a change. You can leave it white like I did in the first one, or do what I'm doing now. Let's see what that looks like. I think that's quite cute. And then I need a little nose. Again, you can do this in white or in colour, or get a pen. Sort of make it an oval shape. As round would look fine too, if that's easier for you. That's going to be the nose, and I quite like it in blue. Now you need your pen. I'm going to add the little nose. Can you see that? Yeah. Little mouth, some whisker freckles, and then you can glue it all together and add the finishing touches. It's definitely getting chillier where I am, so these are very appropriate. Glue on the ears. Like so. on the little mouth. Isn't that cute? And then we need one eye. You could also add some little pink cheeks, you know, when we do the kawaiis. I quite like that too. I'm just going to round off the sides. You don't have, again, you don't have to round this bit, but I quite like to do it. Don't cut too much off, of course. Otherwise, you know, your bookmark will fall apart. And then finally, just add some paws. And there you have your polar bear. Isn't he cute? I think he is anyway. There we go. Look, aren't they adorable? Your basic corner bookmark. Very cute. Very easy, hopefully. Now we want to decorate the doggy's little face. So I'm going to take some brown. So this is a bit, some of it's a bit wrinkly, so I'm just going to cut a little bit out to get a nice neat corner or edge. So that's what we're going to need. Now I'm going to mark out the corners or the ends of my bookmark, and also roughly where the half is, because I want the nose to go up to the half mark. Cut that out. Right, carefully without bending it too much, find your center. This is your cut across, and maybe a little bit more, and down, to kind of give you that flat doggy face. That's going to go on the front. Now I'm going to use the little scrap here from earlier, and I'm going to do 2 doggy ears. So round and sort of like a semicircle. I think that'll be quite good. Quite a big ear. See if I like the look of that. I think that works for me. Right, time to glue it down. Take your scissors, round off the corner. I just think it makes it a little bit cuter. And then draw on your details. So I'm going to put a little nose. And now you need the eyes, so quite big eyes. Make them cute. And then one last thing, if you wish, you can add a little tongue. You don't have to. then just go over it with a pen, kind of to neaten off the mouth. And put a little. And there you have it. Your little pug is finished. And here's the one we made before. So we've got a little black and a little brown pug. Aren't they adorable? So, as per usual, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. We have so many crafts with you regularly, every day. Not every day, every week. You know, like, comment, share, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully we'll see you here again soon. Remember to just keep watching and keep making. Bye! For the butterfly, you will now need to take some scissors, and about halfway along and in line with this line here, I'm going to cut like this, and on the same on the other side, in line with that one, up, like so, and then I'm going to repeat the same. Now if you want, you can get a ruler out just to make sure that these sides are lined up, but it's up to you whether you want to do it freehand or not. And then, so that gives you the top wing. I've also cut a bit at the bottom. So that gives you your basic butterfly shape. Now here I've cut out another green piece of paper because I quite like to show the contrast. So, and then I'm going to pop it in just to sort of, so that you've got sort of that green grass nature feeling going on. So all I did to cut this out was you place this over your green piece of paper, you trace it and you cut it. Now I'm going to put a bit of glue on the back. It doesn't have to be too accurate, kind of just want to hold it in place. Slide it in like so, and it's quite nice, I think, if a little bit peeps out. And then if you want, you can just trim it to fit perfectly. And now it's time to decorate. So the first thing I want to do is add the little head and some, you know, not antlers, what they're called, antennae. Now you can draw these out first if you wish, might be easier for you. But you know me, I like to do things freehand, and they don't have to be too accurate either, you know, it's just indicative. I like to cut it a little bit. That's a bit too thin. Now always make the head a bit longer because you are going to need something to stick it with. Yeah, so this is going to be the bit I glue, like so. Glue it on and just stick it in place. That's quite long, so I might just trim them a bit because they did turn up a bit long. Right, now I need to get some not leaves, but some sort of patterns for the wings. I think I might go for, oh, I don't know, orange, yellow. Let's do some yellow because I haven't got yellow yet. This is meant to be a monarch butterfly, by the way. So I'm just going to cut out some shapes and see if they fit, and if they don't, I'm just going to trim it. And again, if you draw these first, if it makes it easier for you. Let's see if what they look like. It's a bit big. Trim it some more. I think that works quite nicely. There's two here because I folded it over. I'm going to also do the little, like a little teardrop at the bottom. And again, I'm just doing it roughly, and I'm going to trim it to see if it fits in a minute. Let's see. I think they work quite well. Okay, so glue these down. And you can do any decorations. You can also just do a white butterfly and colour it in if you want. Or you can use some of the yellow and then use a pen over the top to add some more details. Here I've added some little white dots with white paint, and here I did some white dots with glue, but I found those really fiddly to do. So actually I think the paint worked really well. And the reason I used white paint is because it's thicker than a white pen and it kind of shows up better. So there you go. You have your corner bookmark. Or simply, butterfly corner bookmark, really quickly, really easily, really sweet. So your book fits in like that and your little butterfly looks into the corner. And there you have our classic Corner bookmark. Super easy. Now, almost time to decorate. First you want to cut some ears out. The easiest way I did this is to fold over a little corner like this, and you can draw it out first if you need to. You know, I often cut freehand, but there's really nothing wrong with cutting out a shape, drawing out a shape first. It's like a big long tear, like so. Keep this because that can be your baby one. And now you start to decorate. So I'm going to put 2 little eyes with a black pen around about here. You can experiment where to put your eyes because it'll have different effects. So 2 cute little eyes. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller. Now I'm going to use the soft end of this pen because it means I get a neater finish. And I'm just going to do a little, like almost like a little heart at the bottom. And then I'm going to do little lines here which are like little cheeks. But again, you don't have to, you can just experiment. And I'm going to add a little bit of pink to my ear, like so. We love bunnies in our house, I don't know about you, but we adore them. And of course they're also really nice as a spring or an Easter craft, aren't they? Make them as little Easter gifts. There we go, here it is. And then you just have to glue them in. Now the best thing about when you do glue them in, I think it's actually worth checking what it would look like in a book, because that way you can make sure that they don't stick out over the edges, right? Because you don't want your ears sticking out because they'll get bent when you're using your book. So you can have a look in the book, don't get glue all over it. Get a little bit of glue and just have a look that it doesn't go over the edge, like so. Maybe I'll make mine stick out a bit more. And then you get the other ear, add a little bit of glue and put it under. And again, you can just have a little look and you can sort of experiment with having the ear straighter or a bit flatter and just see what look you like. And there you have super duper duper easy little book corner. And I just used up the little scraps paper and repeated it exactly the same for this mini one, and it was really, really easy and oh so cute. You have your basic bookmark. Now, as with our emoji bookmarks, which I can link below and in the iCards, basically I'm going to shape it. Now, I'm not going to cut too much off, so you don't have to glue it into place, but you can glue the flaps down if you want. I'm just going to sort of round it off a little bit, but not too much. Yeah, just so it doesn't fall apart. You don't have to round it off at all, actually. You could just leave it a bit more square. But now that we've started doing this cutting business, I always quite enjoy it. Now you don't have to cut the top, actually. I'm going to leave it because well, maybe cut a little tip actually. You've got the comb will be there, won't it? And in some ways, the less you cut, the better, because then the more secure your everything will be together. First thing I'm going to do is cut out a little beak, so it's a triangle, like so. And you know, with the triangle, you want the end bit rounded, just to make it cute. That'll be the beak. Doesn't have to be rounded, and if you want to, like so. Doesn't really matter what size it is either. Roughly that kind of size. I think that one's bigger, but it doesn't matter. Then you're going to need to cut the feet and the wattle. The wattle is that little flappy bit underneath the beak. So I'm going to cut a heart out. Now I'm cutting this freehand because I have lots of practice in cutting hearts. You might want to just get a pencil and draw it out first, or if you're really having troubles, maybe you can get a little stencil from the internet. There we go, that's the wattle, little heart. That's easy, isn't it? And to be honest, the feet are the same. I've just made them a slightly longer heart, so you'll see what I mean. Sorry, let's just cut the paper. So, and again, if you find it easier, do draw it out first. And for the feet, I've cut 2 hearts at the same time, so they're the same size. Oh, red feet. They're yellow feet. No, I want yellow feet. You see, we all make mistakes. And I won't edit that out because I do think it's really important for you guys to see that it's fine to make little mistakes whilst you're crafting, and they're really easy to fix. You don't need to worry about it. Here we go. And it doesn't matter if it's not the perfect heart shape because they are feet. There we go. Phew. Now we need the little bit at the top. Now that's kind of a a bit of a guessing game. Again, you might want to draw it out first, but I just had a little go, and then I'll have a look if I like it, and if I don't, maybe then I will get my pencil out. But it's kind of this shape, whatever that shape is. Is it like a long thin heart with an extra bit at the end? Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? Job done. Then you just glue it all down as per usual. So get a trusted glue stick. I'm going to glue the wattle first, then get my beak like so. You know, you can experiment with different size beaks, and then that'll give your chicken a different character and a different look. This one I'm going to stick just underneath like so, and the same on this side, just so. And then I'm going to pick that one up, lots of glue, stick it at the top, and there you have it. Now I just need my pen, and then I'm going to add the little face, and I'm going to, for this one, for the mummy chick, I've just decided to have the kind of sort of happy eyes shut look. There we go. That's how easy it is to make a chicken bookmark. So the next thing you need to do is shape the mouth. So to do that, I'm going to kind of cut two little wiggles, so it looks like this, okay, into the front of my book corner. It doesn't have to be too wiggly and not too deep, but enough kind of to give it a little bit of a dog shape. There we go. I hope that's enough, she says. Actually, I'll do just a tiny bit more. Tiny bit more pointy. Here we go. Yeah, that's good. Now I'm going to use my scissors. I'm going to actually switch scissors now. I've been using the big ones whilst I was doing the practice run, but actually the smaller scissors are a bit easier to use when cutting small things. Cutting like a little triangle. So this is like the nose. The thing is, I've got to make it all a bit bigger than I did it the first time. So I've got to pay attention. There's a nose. Now I'm going to make two ears. Again, like I said, this is a slightly bigger one than that one, so I have to be careful not to use that as my guide. So to make the ears, I've kind of done a bit of a tear shaped. And here you come out like that, sort of a tear or drop. You know, to be honest, you just have to experiment and then see what it looks like. I think that's probably okay, actually. I'll have to see. I might have to do another one. Then I'm going to cut out from my leftover an eye. Actually, I'm going to keep this for the dots and cut an eye here. I keep looking at my original one for reference of how to cut it, and then I realise it's smaller. It's a bit tricky doing it. I think though that will work. So let's start with the nose and have a look. So I'll glue the nose on, and then I'm going to put these in place and just have a look what I think. I think the eye could be a tiny bit smaller. It's like a kidney, the eye, kidney bean shape. Glue that down like so, and then do a nice big black eye in the middle. You can use a Sharpie pen or a black pen. I've just got a black biro here. There we go. Now you check the ears. I think they look good there. So you just fold it over. I think that's okay. And maybe a bit. Yeah, that's good. Glue. If you're not happy with the ears, you know, you can always cut out some more. Get the glue on the other one. Now make sure that you line up the second ear roughly the same distance, same angle, so you've kind of got a bit of symmetry going. I think that's good. Now you want to add the cute little pink tongue. To be honest, the tongue is my favourite bit. Such a small detail, but I think it's super cute. So I've just coloured in some white paper pink. I think I do have pink paper somewhere, but you know what? I think it's good to show that you can use pens as well. And you cut out a long strip, longer than you'll need, because then you've got something to glue. Let me just check that it looks nice. I think it looks very cute. Then you add glue to the top, not the bit sticking out. And then you carefully guide it in. You don't want it sticking out too far, just a little bit, so that when it's on your book, it doesn't stick out too much and therefore get bent. Right, so, and that's the basic doggy done, but now I'm just going to add a little bit of detail. I'm going to round it off here, just to give it some shape, and the same on this side. Like that. Do my little round bottom. Add a little tail, waggly tail. I know that the emojis obviously don't have this bit, so this bit's totally made up, but that's okay. And I'm going to add a couple of dots. Again, this is made up, not part of the original emoji, but this is the wonderful thing about art. You get to do what you want. You can be inspired by things and then make it your own. One dot. And there you have your own DIY doggy, puppy, or emoji dog book corner. And when it's on your book, the bit you see is the little head. Now, isn't that adorable? Any sort of paper will do, but special origami paper always works well. It's that little bit thinner. So, take your origami paper, turn it round, and you take the bottom corner. So I'm trying to get it all into the camera. Move this over. Ah, dearie me. Not so good today, is it? So you want to see all the corners. So you want to take this corner and you take it up to this corner, like so. Do it as neat as possible. Here we go. Then you take this corner up to that corner. This is a really great introductory project to origami. This corner to that corner, because it teaches children and grown-ups to think about how things align and making nice, neat creases. There we go. So that's your, then you open it up again. Now you bring this, just one of them, down to the bottom. We're almost there. Now you take this one up, and this is different to the other bookmarks I've made. You take this corner and you bring it down at an angle. Basically, this is what's going to be sticking out as an ear. So you can sort of experiment to what kind of ear you like. You know, make it a bit narrower, a bit bigger, whatever. But I have it to about here. It's no exact science. I'm just guessing, because I know how it will stick out. So here, this one, and it is worth experimenting. You bring it down. Now this time you try and match it with the other side, so that the angles are similar, because you do want the two ears to look the same. So those are going to be your ears. Then you lift and you tuck all of it under like that, and then you give it a nice little crease. Got one here, and then you tuck all of it under, and you get a nice straight crease here. And there you have your basic fox face shape. There you go. I'm just going to pull my ear out a tiny bit. That's okay to adjust it when you're... There we go. Get the creases nice and tight. Now you'll just get a scrap piece of paper like this. I always like using scrap. Why not? Recycle. Fold it over and cut top bit of a circle. So it's not a semicircle, just the top bit of a circle. If you're not confident cutting circles properly, either you can use a glass as a stencil, or to be honest, you can see mine's a little bit fat at the top, a bit flat at the bottom. It doesn't matter because the fox has a slightly sort of shaped face. I think this is maybe a little bit too thick, so I'm just going to cut it a little bit thinner, both of them at the same time. There we go. I think that's better. Let's try it out. Yes, I think that looks quite sweet. Get your glue. This is like a bit of a Pritt stick glue. You know, a glue stick's best, to be honest, but at the moment I've run out, so I've got this wet glue. I prefer glue sticks because wet glue sometimes leaves smudges or make your paper curl up when you're using it for this kind of craft, but this glue is fine as well. So press it down like so, and then you have your basic fox face. Now you'll need a black pen. I've got a marker pen. I might do it on here. So you can see the little wrinkles, that's from the glue, but once it's dried it should be a bit better. And then you draw on a black nose, nice and black. Here we go. And then I'm going to draw a little eye and a little eye. And then if you wish, you can add sort of the little black ears details, but again it's totally up to you. I just tuck this piece of paper in so that I don't draw underneath by accident. Like so. And then you do the same on this side. And you can see very quickly we have our fox bookmark. Really easy. Here we go. And the best bit, as I say, is that when you shut your book, nothing peeps out, so it's nice and smooth, but you still have some cute little ears. We have, as always, our basic bookmark. Now, because these are sort of kawaii kittens, I think it's quite nice to round off the edges. You don't have to, but I think it's quite sweet because sort of kawaii is all round and cute. I'm just going to round them off gently, not too much because you don't need too much just to make them cute. And then I'm going to cut out some ears. Now the ears are really simple. They are 2 triangles, normal triangles, so a flat at the bottom, oopsie. And then to save on paper, because I love to save, I'm going to cut the other one out the top. So I've got 2 ears. Now for the Hello Kitty one, I just made the ears a little bit bigger, and I also rounded the top off. But now the funny thing about these is, now you can play about where your ears go. You can have them pointing up, you can have them going sideways, you can have them low, you can have them high. So really it's about experimenting. For these kawaii kittens, I quite like having them sort of at a slight angle. Just because they're just a bit different and a bit cute. But really it's your choice. I'm just going to put them at a slight angle. Well, actually it's a straight, so this line is lined up with this line. I don't know, I just thought it would look a bit different. You can also, I think, make them a little bit bigger if you want. These are actually quite small ears, but I don't think that matters. It might also, goodness, the sun really is changing today. I should have set my exposure on the camera. I'm learning, you see. I'm hopefully getting these videos better and better for you. Right, so these are the ears, and then it's really easy. Take a pen. With kawaii, you have the eyes quite far apart, and the nose quite close. You have some little whiskers. And then I'm going to add some paws. You can stick those on if you want, or not. Yeah. And then also, I quite like adding a little tail. Again, you don't have to, but it's just a cute little detail. And there you have your basic kitty done. Isn't that cute? Now I'm going to add some little ears, some little details. You can add, give them a little eye patch. Also, you can use another colour to create, to add a little heart. You can add some glitter glue to add a heart. With Hello Kitty, I've stuck on a bow that I drew on pink paper first, and also the nose I decided to glue on rather than draw on because it's just there, and I really wanted it to stick out. And that really is how very, very easy it is to make some book corner cats, kittens, Hello Kitties, Kawaii Kitten, Pushkin, all those kind of things, Pusheen. Now you have our basic book corner. Time to decorate. Now I've created all these little shapes here. So I've actually got two of these. I cut two pieces of paper at the same time to create the ears. I've got two ovals that I cut out at the same time to create the eyes. And then I cut out sort of these square at one end but oval at the other bits to do your 4 of those to do your feet. A little bit, 2 dots for your eyes, and a straight black line for this little detail here. So I shall begin by shaping the bookmark a little bit. I think since I started cutting into the bookmarks like this, I can't resist shaping it a bit. Of course, you don't really have to. It would still look nice if you leave it square, but I'm like, why not shape it a bit? As long as you don't cut too much off, it'll keep its shape really nicely. So there we go. Now I've done the basic shaping, and now you just get your glue stick and start to glue. I'm going to start with my ears, so put a bit of glue here. I'm going to put those relatively high up. Now, of course, if you love bears, you can use exact same technique for bears. Just use brown and maybe like a light brown or darker brown for the arms. So those are the ears. Now I'm going to put the eyes. I think, yeah, I was going to say maybe cut them a tiny bit smaller. Not sure. It's always good to adjust as you go along. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off. Like so. I have them slightly oval, if you've noticed, and slightly thin at one end. So the thinner end goes up and the fatter end goes down. And I'm going to point them in the same direction, like so. Now I've only cut these little white bits off because I think it gives it a bit more, it's easier to mark the eyes that way. But if you have a white pen, you could just use that, like so. Then I shall take my little black line, put it under its chin about here. There we go. Now you can put on all the paws. Don't worry if they stick out over the edge. In fact, you want that to happen, and you'll see why in a minute. I can hear some banging in the background. I don't know if you can hear that. Apologies. So they're sticking out on purpose a little bit. There we go. Now take your scissors, turn it round and follow the shape. Here we go. Follow the shape like this. And then finally add the details of the eyes and a little nose and mouth. And there you have your very own bookmark pandas. Aren't they cute? Shape. Now you start to decorate it. So the first thing you need to do is cut out some eyes. Now I've said this before and I'll say it again. You can use a coin to trace it. I often cut freehand because I have lots of practice, so I feel confident to do this. If you don't, just get a coin and that'll be really easy. I cut two at the same time. Oopsie, two at the same time. Going off screen. I cut two at the same time to make sure that they're the same size. But again, if you use a coin, they should end up pretty similar. So you've got your eyes. Actually, they're a bit big. I'm going to just make them a bit smaller. And you can experiment. Have a look at what bigger eyes, smaller eyes look like. You can have them looking in one direction, looking in the other direction, and I'm just going to put some black pupils on. That's the eyes ready. Now you want this white bit of the body. Now the easiest way to do that is to take your scrap piece of paper, like so, roughly mark out where your penguin is, and then you just go like this and curve it in like so, and then you, because that's going to be tucked under, right? This is just a curve. Get me my scissors. It doesn't have to be hugely accurate. As you can see, I'm cutting within my lines. You can either rub those lines out. That's going to be inside. So, or you just turn it around. So you've got your centre bit. Fits in really nice and easy. Let's move that over, and then you get your orange. So you need your beak. So the beak, I always cut a bit longer than I think I'll need it, because you want to have a little bit extra so you can stick it inside. So let's just see if I like that beak. I think that works. Maybe do it a bit neater. And a little bit neat over here. There we go. Let's have a look. That looks nice. And finally, your feet. I'm just going to fold this over so I can cut two at the same time, because I do like that. First I'm going to cut straight across. Again, if you feel uncomfortable with just cutting like I am, you can draw them out first. And as you're going to need a little bit for sticking, I'm making them a little bit longer than I think I will need them. That's quite big again. Maybe cut that down a bit, like so. And cut the little toes in. Like so. Have a look. I think they look quite nice. Yep. Now I'm ready to stick. Let's get rid of all these little pieces. Okay. So, we're almost finished with our penguins, aren't we? Aren't they cute? I do love these bookmarks. And I do love reading. So these little penguin guys are lovely for winter books. You see, a different one for each season. Now when you stick the beak, you put it on top, right? Because you're going to stick it in like this. Body, remember you've got back and a front, so I'm going to put the glue on the back, lots of glue, because I'm going to position the feet with this too. Here we go. Now get it in position so that it's all lined up at the bottom, and then just before you stick it down too hard, between the white and the black, I'm going to just squeeze in my feet. And same on this side, because then you don't have any feet showing at the back, which I think looks extra nice. And if you need to, add a little bit of glue to the back of the foot. And there you have your very own adorable penguin corner bookmark. So did you guess correctly? Would you have picked those 10? To be honest, I was a little surprised to see the penguin bookmark as #1 spot. I really love the penguin, but there's so many others I love, like the hedgehog and the turtle, and so many other fabulous corner bookmarks that didn't make it to the top 10. But you know what? Doesn't mean they're not good. So anyway, I hope you enjoy those 10 crafts. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Above all, keep watching, keep making, and I'd love to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.